PodOutatNight mostly. I'm Graveyard, joined by my co-host Salem.
Hello.
This is episode 196 of our weekly All Things Word podcast. We are continuing our dive into Pride Month with films that celebrate being gay. Sometimes that comes from a positive character, which, kudos to that film for making them positive, because nothing wrong with them. Then we have the godfather of the gay slasher, which is Hellbent from 2004, which I learned a lot of fun facts about that while looking up the movie. And we are last looking at the multilingual joint effort of Knife+Heart, which is Spanish and French, I believe, right?
Well, it's mostly French. It's set in Paris, so
yeah. As I said, the first one is Butcher, Baker, Nightmare Maker, which was released. Remember I said there's like two different titles for it? It was re-released like 2 years later under like something else.
Well, yeah, I knew that had another name, but the resurgence when people talk about it now, they still use the original name. Like, I've never seen anybody actually use that re-release name.
No, but like I said, when we look up stuff that has multiple titles, it's like we have to be very careful, especially because you never know what streaming service is going to have under what name. Like, Knife+Heart has a completely different name outside the US.
Well, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah. We'll start off with Butcher, Baker. Yeah, I can't speak. Nightmare Maker from 1981, which has co-starring a very young Bill Paxton. Did not realize that.
This is his first film. He has one thing on his IMDb before this, and that was like an uncredited appearance in something else. This is his first credited appearance.
Kind of like
as William Paxton.
Kind of like how Ben Affleck got like an uncredited for Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Right. Yeah, that's basically what it was. It's a literally uncredited appearance in something else. This was his first credited appearance.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is 1981. So 14 years before that would be 1967. We meet a couple that is dropping off their kid with with his aunt, and like, hey, we have to go move somebody, and they just didn't take the kid with them. And lo and behold, like their brakes went out, and you think like, oh, they're gonna drive off the side of the cliff. Nope. The father gets like, Final Destination 2 logged through the head, and she's the mom's trying to grab on. Then that's where she just kind of swerves off, flips over into the river, and then after some time, the car explodes. Then we get 14 years later, we're following Billy, who is now 17, and plays basketball and seems to be really good at it. And he's still living with his now extremely creepy aunt, who like nuzzles him to wake him up in the morning.
Okay, no. That was not nuzzling. Nuzzling is weird. This was like, I call it the kitty cat alarm clock. She sits down and she goes like, meow, meow, like pawing at his back.
Very sexually.
And then like snuggling up on his neck and shit. Like, that is not fucking normal, dude. I mean, this guy might not understand it. This might be normal for him. You know what I mean? Because some people, they got weird families and they don't necessarily know that until they have like life experience, and you go, wow, that's fucking weird. But like, so he might be in that state. We don't know, but it is very like weird to watch.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, that's already bizarre. It's more bizarre as the movie gets on, and you find out why. But yeah, like I said, he's with his girlfriend, who, fun fact, is way closer to the aunt's age than his age.
We'll talk about it later. But she doesn't seem that much older. I mean, I don't think it's bad casting. No.
But like I said, he's just trying to be good. He's trying to get like a full-on scholarship to go to Denver State, because they can't really afford it, because, single woman raising a kid, usually struggles to make ends meet.
I don't think she like works.
It doesn't seem like it, other than she like cans food, and looks like some of them is like intestines that she's canning.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, she's pickling all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
So maybe that's her business. Maybe she pickles animals on the side.
I don't know.
So this is going on. She's very concerned, like, oh, it's just gonna be his 17th birthday. He's like, I want to invite my girlfriend. She's like, no, I'll invite my friends. He's like, but I want her there. No. And you can tell she's very upset about him potentially going away. Says he's going to this stuff. And this is where the coach of the basketball team is a gay man and is surprisingly, for 1981, not like vilified other than by the cop for anything else.
Again, this is the thing that most people, point to as being like, one of the first, positive gay characters, because the guy is like your typical role model, like coach, looking out for the kid, trying to help him with his future kind of thing. Yes, he is gay. Yes, he has a partner,
but that's it.
And like the people, call him out for being gay, but the dude is just a straight positive character. He's not stereotypically gay. He's not effeminate at all.
No.
Like I said, he's just a male coach. He's acts like you would expect any other jock dude to be. Again, in the early 80s like this, it is, I mean, almost strange to see that, because it was very, taboo at the time.
Oh, he wasn't lusting after his basketball players at all.
Yeah, not at all. Like, there wasn't even, I mean, like the one asshole guy insinuated that, but that's because that guy was an asshole.
Correct.
But it wasn't like anybody with any credibility. There wasn't any creepiness going on.
Right. It's not like there was no scenes of like him watching him in the showers. He's legit was just a stand-up dude that wanted the best for his players.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was a fantastic character. And again, I appreciate the way that it ended up, because it was, because it is the early 80s like that. As soon as people found out he was gay, what happened? He got pushed out of his job because, we can't have a gay guy around children. Like, that's the kind of shit that was happening at that time. And that stuff did happen.
Yeah.
But he still maintained being a good person.
Yep.
Like, he just kind of took it in stride. Like, I figured this would happen. And he just accepts his fate.
But yeah,
unfortunately.
And he still tells Billy, he's like, hey, I still want to make sure you get your scholarship. If there's anything I can do for you, just let me know.
Right. Again, just the positive, male role model in his life. And it was
correct.
Great character.
Yeah. So, all that's going on there. Billy comes back for his dinner, and his sexually repressed aunt is trying to hit on the TV repair guy. He's like, she's, opens her shirt. He's like, no, thanks. I'm not that way. And he rejects her. So she just goes, you know what? I'm just going to stab you to death. And Billy kind of gets in there well after the fact of that kind of happening. He takes the knife out, and the neighbors coming for his birthday party. He's like, she's like, he was trying to rape me, which the guy clearly wasn't in the least bit. But the cops come, and I say, enter asshole cop, like what you'd expected. All the bigotry and everything. That's this cop, Detective Carlson.
Yeah, he hates, all wrapped up in one package.
He hates everyone that's not a straight white person. Like, he's running up people of color on the streets, just not even giving them a seat to sit down. He's that much of a douchebag. And he's like, well, no, I think you did it, Billy. I think that you're gay. I think you did it as a lovers quarrel because, your coach is gay, blah, blah, blah. And he just talks with him and just throws the F word around quite a bit when he's confronting him. But yeah, he is dead set that this guy, because the TV repair guy turns out to be gay. It's like, right. This is a lover's quarrel. But yeah, this is all this. You just like, dude, tell me if you're gay, blah, blah, blah. It's just, you really just want to punch him. And Billy doesn't hit him. Like, I feel like he would have every right to do that, but I think that's part of the egging on of the cop, because he just didn't believe the rape story, which is true. That's not what happened. But anyway, all this is kind of going on there, and it's like, the scouts are coming to this, and his aunt, is like, you know what? I'm just going to kind of drug him a little bit so he does not good at the game. So, look, he's passed out at the basketball game. He wakes up in a room full of, in the attic full of his old childhood toys and all that stuff. And all the while, this is kind of going on. She has some weird shrine to some guy. Like, she's very, very religious, but then it has a shrine to not Jesus, to Chuck.
Well, to be fair, her room is like a shrine to Jesus.
Yes.
And then she has another shrine to this other guy in like a hidden basement room.
Yeah. Long story short, he's also in that room. The Chuck is.
Yeah.
Long dead. So yeah, she just becomes more unnerved, and she starts kind of like, drugging him to just kind of keep him into that like vegetative state, because she does not want him to leave, because she's like, trying to be set up with a guy. She's like, I don't need no man, because she's clearly lustful for her nephew. So yeah.
Which is weird, right?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously on multiple levels, but it's weird to me that she like the crazier she gets deep into this, the more she wants him to be a child.
Correct.
Which is weird. Like, if you like, I'm not saying any of this is good, but like if you're like attracted to your own son, like I would assume you'd be attracted to him as a man. But it seems like she's more attracted to him, and she's trying to put him in a place to be a child. Like the room that she puts him in is like literally filled with little kids' toys.
Yeah.
Like, so he's like, she's projecting him to be a small child, and then she wants to be his lover. It's very weird.
Yeah. Like I said, there's the asshole cop detective is doing all he can just to make it a gay thing, and the girlfriend's trying to do that stuff. Even like the coach, after goes to the guy, he goes, if it makes you, that TV repair guy, he was once married to a woman, so there is that. So maybe it's true. He's like, no, get out of here. You're scum of the earth because you're gay. I hate you. I'm going to make this be a thing.
Right. Well, he went in there trying to get him to blame his dead partner because he's trying to help the kid have a future.
Yeah.
So he's, again, another point for him is he's willing to sacrifice his own future to try to help this kid have his better future by like, okay, no, blame it on my partner. Maybe he did try to rape her, and then just end the case there and let the kid go.
Yep. But no, Carlson is like, nope.
Yeah.
I'll make it way worse. So it all kind of like culminates of, Billy's just kind of really, really drugged. He's trying to figure all this stuff out. And he gets his girlfriend to come over, and he finds a box full of like a whole bunch of stuff. Lo and behold, we find out that, surprise, surprise, his aunt is really his mother, and Chuck is his dad. And they, because Chuck was going to leave them, his aunt, or the real mom, gave it to her sister to take care of it, and she goes, I want my kid back, and heavily implies that she destroyed their brakes for them to have the car accident.
Right. I'm surprised they didn't show a more direct thing that she did.
They didn't say it out loud, but it strongly hinted at.
Yeah, right. I mean, like you can figure that's what happened. It just, she doesn't like come out and say it, which is odd, especially for a movie like this. Usually the big reveal, they usually lay it all out.
It to me kind of reeks of rewrites.
Probably. But I mean, again, this is 1981. That's
a lot of these like reveals don't seem to fit into place, in my opinion, of her stuff. But eventually, a cop comes in, she kills, not the asshole cop, but his partner kills him. Neighbor sees it happening, sees the Billy's drug, tries to get out. She kills her, attacks the girlfriend, seeming stranger. Then Billy has like come out of like almost a comatose state, eventually like stabs his aunt, and then that didn't do enough. Then it's like poking her with a fire poker, and then comes in detective asshole. It's like, oh, this was a love triangle. This is all that stuff. You kill her just because she found out that you're gay, blah, blah, blah. And he's ready to shoot.
Well, yeah, to put it, he calls the coach.
Yeah.
When he stabs his mom / aunt the first time, she's like, does the killer, it's over thing. He calls the coach for help, and the coach comes over. After that, she wakes up and he kills her again with the fire poker. But the coach comes there to like try to like, help him, calm him down. And that's when the cop shows up. So like he sees him with the coach and automatically assumes, of course, that all his, predictions were true.
Correct. And he's like, okay, he's like going to shoot the coach, but he knocks out his hand, and Billy gets the gun and kills the cop. And they go, yeah, and cut. Yeah, he went to trial, temporary insanity. He's, going to Denver State.
Right, well, yeah, which is said in a text ending.
Yes. Which once again seems an add-on.
Right. Well, probably because people were like, "Well, what happened?
Right.
Was it what, like, did he just go to jail? Like, what happened?"
Yeah, I mean, he was defending himself. I don't disagree. And Carlson was a piece of shit.
Yeah, I mean, but that's a hard sell, though. It's like your aunt that you murder your aunt because of self-defense. Like, okay, she's an old lady. I mean, not an old lady. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But yeah, it's weird turns. But I know I had never seen this, but I've seen that poster a lot.
Well, I've seen it talked about a lot. Again, like I've seen it talked about in multiple places. Not only in this, like, people talking about, classic movies from the 80s, but also like, classic, LGBT movies from the 80s, because again, I think it's like the first positive, gay character that's not, overly effeminate,
or
not
villain.
like, right, or like, stereotypical, like he's just a normal cool dude who just happens to be gay. And I think that's, I don't know, there probably is another movie out there somewhere, but this is the first one that I know of.
Yeah. You want to go first with your highlights?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I was not expecting Bill Paxton to be in this.
Nope.
At all. I was just like, what the fuck? Like, that's young. And I was looking up, I was like, this must be one of his first movies. And it was literally his first credited role as William Paxton. That was funny. But he plays like the kind of like his douchey rival, the guy that like tries to fight him in school. Every typical high school movie has like a rivalry, and he's the rival.
Correct.
But that's it. It's not a big role, but it's still Bill Paxton.
Yes.
Again, the coach, we already talked about him. Great character, interesting, that it's a 1981 film, and it was, that positive for a gay character is pretty cool. And like, I really appreciate that they actually had Billy shoot the cop.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because, like, usually it's like, oh, he'll fall down, or, he'll somehow kill himself, like that's usually what the killers do, so that the hero doesn't have to, like, sully themselves with just straight up murder. But no, this one, he just, like, straight up shoots him. Like,
yep.
He wasn't even like coming at him at the time. He probably would have eventually.
Oh,
but, like,
easily.
Yeah, he probably would have done things to him, but at that time, he just like, yeah, go ahead, shoot me. You're not going to do it, and he just does, which is interesting because usually those scenes play out a lot differently. And he just shot him. I was like, oh, nice. I was like, that's cool. And then I have one that kind of bridges both of them. I'll just say that one now. The aunt, right? She's a terrible character, but I think she plays it well enough that you're like, you're made to hate her. Like, she plays the role that good that you hate her because of it. Right. So I have to give her kudos for being good enough to make people hate you as the character. The character itself is horrible and terrible, but like I think the way that she presented it was really good. But that's all I got.
Yeah. So, like right before the reveals, I like, did the aunt, like, I got the feeling the aunt tampered with the brakes like from the very beginning because of the way she was looking at it, right?
Well, yeah, it was the first couple of scenes she plays it straight, but as soon as she starts getting weird, like it was as soon as she was like, he's like, oh, I'm gonna invite my girlfriend over. He's like, you're not inviting your girlfriend over. I'm your date. And I was like, yeah, she killed. she fucking killed him. Like at that point, I was like, yeah, right away. But like the first few scenes, she just seems like a normal, overly affectionate kind of mother figure.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It's that as the film progresses, she gets weirder and weirder.
Yeah, and I thought the log going through the guy's head at the beginning was fun and interesting, which is a heck of a way to start. Maybe there's inspiration for Final Destination 2. As you said, young Bill Paxton. It was great to see him in that. like I said, and just having the coach just be the stand-up guy was refreshing and great to see in 1981. And I feel like the ending is just so bizarre. Like it went off the rails really fast. And that kind of, but it was it in a fun way. Like, oh, there's a lot going on there. She's like, oh, I'm protecting him, and like I'm gonna start murdering like 5 people. Cool. And then of course Carlson getting his comeuppance, which is great. I'll roll into my low points. There's way too many Jesuses.
What?
Yeah. Which, okay, so, and that's the thing. Like, so the aunt/mom makes it a point to say, being gay is a sin, but incest isn't.
Well, that's she's obviously like out of her mind.
Yeah.
But again, there's a certain level of out of your mind that's okay to the world at large, right? As long as it's in very specific areas. And religious mania is one of them.
Yeah.
It's not looked down upon, even though again, some people take it way too far. And it becomes bad for them and bad for people around them, but it's okay. In our society, that's okay. And that's, so yeah, she's doing that, but that wouldn't have been a warning sign that something was going on, because that's a normal thing that people accept.
Yeah, and so just like I said, creepy aunt, the way she was, as you said, talking and waking him up was like, that's bad regardless. If it's not your partner, no.
Right. Well, it's like, like Carrie White's mom, right?
Yeah.
Crazy religious, like doing weird things to her kid, like keeping her in these, like in the fucking closet to pray all the time and shit like that. People don't do anything about it.
No.
Right? Because that's her way. Oh, she's raising, her religious,
yeah.
Right, whatever, blah, blah. That's okay. People look the other way on that kind of stuff. And so when she says that kind of shit, yeah, I'm not surprised that nobody did anything about it.
Yeah. And obviously Detective Carlson and his just shittiest person alive award.
Yeah,
for
like
this.
He wins everything. Literally, he's sexist. he's
Racist.
homophobic and racist. Yeah, he's everything you can be. He is.
Yeah, and just like, man, and the dialogue they are having him use, like, holy crap.
Well, it's 1981. It's throw on a lot of words that you wouldn't throw around a lot now.
Correct. This is a man. The 80s was different.
Yeah.
I wish it was way different now, but it's unfortunately still not. But yeah, that's what I have. How about you?
Yeah, I already said in the beginning, the kitty cat alarm clock. That was fucking disturbing. Yeah, we already talked about the cop. Like I said, already the laundry list of shit. That was how fucking asshole he was. I want to say his girlfriend was a just generic caricature of a girlfriend.
Yes.
Like, she really doesn't have a personality at all. Her personality is, I'm your girlfriend and I'm trying to be the best girlfriend I can be. That's it. She has no like dreams or wishes of her own. She's like, she exists solely to be the dude's girlfriend, period. That's it.
Yep.
I thought it was pretty one-dimensional shitty character, but she has a hell of an iron skull.
She does.
Because she got she got bashed in the head with blunt objects more than once and appeared to be dead and then just came right back. So I get, you gotta stick with her for the sake of your children, to be able to survive falls and bricks to face.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, the camera work in this movie was not great. I usually don't care, but it was so bad that I had to notice.
Yeah.
There's like there's like these wonky zoom ins where they're zooming in on a face and like the camera's like moving while they're doing it. It's like wiggling around. It's like, wow, I would just not do that. There's like these weird freeze frames sometimes when they're going from like one scene to another. Like, it'll be like a scene where they're like, ah, you're like coming, the ant's coming at you, like stabbing, whatever. And it would be like a freeze frame of her like holding a knife with a crazy face. And then it would be like freeze frame, hard cut, new scene. It was like, holy shit, who edited this fucking thing? But that's all I got. And again, like I said, the aunt is on this side as well. But again, that's because she's such a bad character that she played it well.
Right.
It's on both. That's it.
All right. Well, our out-ofs are this week for chains and the handcuffs. There's a few of them. So how many chains and handcuffs out of 10 do you give Butcher Baker, Nightmare Maker from 1981?
I mean, it's decent, but it's I mean, there's plus marks, but there's negatives. I would say it ends up kind of evening out, but I'll give it like 6.
6. Yeah, I'm right there with you. It's middle of the road at best. Do I need to watch it again? I don't think so. But it's still an interesting piece of history just to give a watch.
Right. Yeah. 1, Bill Paxton's first movie.
Right.
Right. Worth it for that. Like 2, like positive gay character in 1981. Like,
yeah,
it's worth watching once just to see these things happen.
Yeah.
But I don't think you need to own it.
I would agree. All right. Well, take us through, if you want to call a story from Hellbent from 2004.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there'll be a note that I add at the end of this, but we're gonna get through the synopsis first here. I'm just gonna give you the basic synopsis, and then I'm gonna give you a little once over at the end of it here. But we'll start with this. So, we have let's kind of sum it up. There's a group of 4 guys. Okay. 3 of them are gay. 1 is like the token straight guy. It's on Halloween, so they all decide to like go out clubbing on Halloween. Now, I'm not quite sure where this is because it seems in the beginning they are definitely in like a small town. And then
for sure,
like when they go to party, they don't travel that far, but they're in a city big enough to have multiple gay clubs in it. Okay, so you're talking, this is like major metropolitan area. So they went from small town to major metropolitan area.
Where hundreds of people are at these clubs.
Right.
It feels
I don't know where the fuck this was, but it didn't seem like they drove that far because like later on in the movie, when they go home, it's like a short trip.
Yeah.
So I'm like, where the fuck is a small town next to this giant metropolitan area? Like, I was like, that doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. That's besides the point. So they all get together, right? They're all dressed up for Halloween. So we got kind of our sort of main character here who is dressed up as a cop. His dad was a cop, and it's like his dad's cop uniform. Whatever. His best friend is dressed in drag. With a big blonde wig. Then his other kind of like meek friend is dressed as like a BDSM guy. I get like a leather daddy kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bondage kid. I don't know what you'd call that. And then like the token straight guy is, I don't know, cowboy. I don't know what he was even supposed to be, but he's wearing a cowboy hat. So I'm going to call him a cowboy.
That's fair.
So they go out clubbing. They go to like this one club first. It's like this hell club. It's Halloween, I guess. They go to this hell club. They're all like partying and dancing and grinding on each other. And they kind of at this point split up. So Bondage Kid is really digging the vibe at this place. So he stays because like his man crush is there. So he wants to stay to try to have a relationship with this dude. Straight guy stays because he's like, I guess, closer friends with him and he's there to keep an eye on him. The drag dude and cop dude decide to leave with the cop dude's crush is at this place. So he kind of sort of gets his number and they like start talking and he wants to go somewhere else. So cop guy and drag guy go with him to another place. So we'll stick with this club for now. Bondage Kid is like all covered in sparkly blood because he was part of like a stage show thing. He goes to clean himself up while straight guy's watching the door. There's a killer out there. I guess there was an opening scene of the film of like your traditional, like, 2 kids making out at like makeout point, but it's 2 dudes.
Yep.
And then they get murdered by a masked, buff dude
who is like the strongest person ever in existence.
Right, yeah. So like masked buff man like murders them and decapitates them. That was the opening scene. So as the kid's cleaning himself up, masked buff man comes down, kills him, chops his head off. Right? Straight guy is like goes and finds some lady to bone. It's a whole thing. We'll talk about it later. So he just kind of leaves the club, you know, thinking like, oh, well, you know, the guy that he had a crush on is like, you know, supposedly like, you know, they're into each other. So I'm just going to let them have fun. So he leaves. So the other people are kind of wandering around this like gay carnival. I'm trying to be as like concise as I can, but it's like a carnival. But it seems to be like solely attended by like gay folks.
Yeah.
So they're all like, you know, walking around having a good time kind of thing. The cop dude and the whatever bad boy guy that he's crushing on kind of eventually move off and do their own thing. The drag guy gets kind of lonely and gets drunk, and we find out that he was like apparently a male model that all the men are like obsessed with. And he's upset that they're no longer obsessed with him because he's dressed like a woman.
Right.
So he's like, you know, he finds the masked buff guy and he's like chasing him down. Like, why don't you like me? And then he just gets murdered.
Yep.
It's a weird scene, but that happens. So then also the straight dude also gets murdered by masked buff guy. Then a different scene. That's whatever. They do meet up and they're like, oh, where's the other guy? He's like, oh, they're, you know, boning in the bathroom. And they're like, well, you shouldn't have left him behind. He's like, yeah, whatever. He, you know, he can deal with himself. He's an adult. And then he gets killed.
Yep.
So the only people left now are the cop and his kind of bad boy boyfriend. They go back to his house to get it on. And this is what I say. They went from a major metropolitan area to small town USA in like, I don't know, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe less. Mm-hmm. So they're like gonna get down, right? They're like starting the whole process. Bad boy handcuffs the cop dude to the bed. He goes to get a condom, right? And then masked buff guy attacks, right? He stabs bad boy. He's down. The dude is like manages to get himself out of the handcuffs, of course, in the nick of time. They're fighting each other all over the place. And they finally, you know, he tries to like, you know, comfort the his bad boy boyfriend who's not dead yet. He's just bleeding a lot. So he's trying to like patch up the wound and keep the guy out of the room and get him out on the fire escape to try to like get away. You know, of course, he cuts the phone line as he tries to make a phone call because this is 2004. Not everybody has a cell phone yet. So he realizes he's not going to be able to make it out. So he's like, oh yeah, you know, my dad's cop stuff is in this, you know, Tupperware container in the closet. I need to get the gun so I can shoot this guy. So he gets the gun, drops the bullets, of course, puts the bullets in the gun, goes out, and then tries to shoot them. I guess there's a slight story beat earlier that I left out, is that he has bad eye. Like his one eye is like missing. So he has like a glass eye.
Yep.
Now, this is why he can't be a real cop. So he's like the cop's IT guy.
Yep.
So he's not good at shooting because he only has one eye, right? So they do a little kind of shooting gallery thing earlier where he shows that he's a really bad shot. So anyway, so he tries to shoot the guy and misses, and then he takes his bad boy boyfriend hostage and then shoots him. Of course, he shoots his boyfriend also, which is funny, and then finally shoots the masked buff dude, and apparently he's dead. Right. So then, yeah, like, ambulance comes and, you know, everything happens. And they're like, you know, as everything's getting packed up, they basically realize that the masked buff dude is still alive. And he's like, oh, let me take the mask off and see who it is. And they're like, no. He's all messed up under there. You don't want to see that. So like, they just pack him into the ambulance. And as they're like driving away, the guy like opens his eyes.
Yeah.
Now,
No explanation of the mask.
Yeah,
of the
there's
buff
no
guy.
explanation at all about who this guy is or why he's murdering anything. He's just there to kill apparently gay people. Apparently that's what he's there to do.
Gay men.
Correct.
Because that's why he didn't want to. He didn't want to kill the one guy in drag first because maybe he's that dumb and thought he was actually a woman. I don't know.
I don't know. But he killed the straight dude.
Yeah. I mean, he
maybe he was bisexual. I don't know. But we see him exclusively messing with chicks. So I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Now the note I'm going to say here is that I mean this in the nicest possible way. This movie is very gay. I'm not using that. I'm not using that as a derogatory term. I'm not, as like the old school way, like people saying gay equals bad. No. I'm just saying this is very gay, as in like everything in this movie is gay. Every single character in the movie is gay.
Yes.
The only person who's not is the straight guy, and then like a couple of the cops that he's an IT guy for. And then there's like one minor scene where like a couple of kids are like, "Oh, you're gay." That's it. Everyone else in the entire film, we're talking like thousands of people, are gay.
Yeah.
And again, there's metropolitan area with multiple gay clubs. Like, within driving distance of their small town. And again, like every dance scene, every makeout scene, all that stuff is all gay. And I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying it's interesting because it's kind of like the opposite of what you normally see. And I was very like intrigued as I was watching this. Like normally it's like a straight person's movie, right? And you might have a gay guy in it, right? You might have a gay character. And they might have a love interest or something, but that's it. They get their one scene, and that's it. The whole rest of the movie is all about straight people and straight, sexuality and stuff like that. This is the literal complete opposite. The entire movie is gay coded, right? Like all the love scenes are gay guys. All the dancing stuff is gay guys. All of the the gratuitous nudity is all dudes. And then the one token straight guy is again what the gay people are in normal films. The gay guy is in this one. It's almost like a joke.
Yeah.
Like they're all like, "Oh, you like, "Oh, you straight guy." It's very interesting. It was like I was like fascinated with this. I was like, this is like the exact opposite of what movies normally are. And it's interesting for that fact. I just wanted to add that in there because obviously just saying the synopsis, yeah, it sounds like a lot of gay stuff is happening. I just want to like prepare you. It's very gay.
Oh yeah.
So that's all I got. So I will I guess, do you want to do your high points first?
Sure. Like I said, I did the research. It was they said pioneer godfather of the gay slasher. Right. And yeah, it's obviously a really, really subgenre of it, but it's just interesting to see kind of the start of it for the most part, right? And also doing the research, like the club, the Hell Club, was a church.
Nice. I love when they do that.
And so I'm like, wow, kudos first off to the church letting them make a movie about a gay club. They're talking about like they had to get rid of all the dead bodies and clean it up before Sunday Mass, which is I'm like I'm
nice.
just like, wow, I'm like that's amazing. You know what I mean? To just transform, like you think a warehouse would have been easier to get than a church. But maybe they didn't have all the light and everything they did. And this movie took 2 years to make. That just picking and choosing, like they're like, oh, the weight fluctuations. I'm like, I don't think I saw weight fluctuations. I don't think that's a thing that I noticed, at least, but maybe they did. But it's just I
mean, it depends on how obsessed you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're obsessed with your figure and you're constantly looking at it, and like if in one scene you're 10 pounds lighter or heavier than another scene, like, and you are focused on that, you might notice. Nobody else is really gonna notice.
But yeah, but like 2 years to work on a film and still get out there, that's a lot of dedication.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? So
you can tell this was somebody's baby.
Correct.
Right? You can tell somebody was very passionate about getting their vision onto film, and they did. I will give them credit. They did that.
Yeah. Was it good? That's a different.
No, well, I mean, yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, and those are my highlights. How about yours?
Yeah, I liked the Hell Club. I thought that was pretty fun. There's like dead body parts and like a chainsaw guar show.
Yeah, they're like just go with it.
Yeah, just go with it. Like spraying blood everywhere. I mean, obviously it was all fake, but it was fun, right?
Yeah.
Some of the music was fun. Again, a chainsaw show with the sparkly blood was fun. Good luck washing out the glitter though.
Yeah.
But like the Boys Town Halloween Carnival, like that looked like a hell of a good time. I don't know if it's my good time, but it looked like fun. I would like to see it. I would like to hang out there. That was cool. Again, I already talked about how there's like, instead of the token gay guy, there's the token straight guy. And It was like basically an Uno reverse of what a movie normally is, in the sexual realm. It's completely turned around to where everything is gay with one straight person versus the opposite of what it normally was.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting. Now, again, I got a thing that goes across the bottom here, which is, goes on both sides, because I don't know what side it's on. I just think it's interesting, is that the fucking killer is not explained in any way. A part of me likes that because it's like a mystery of like, oh, what the hell was that, right? But it's also like give somebody something, give me like an escape killer or something, anything like any kind of like, okay, that's who this is or something. But no, we got absolutely nothing. We have no idea where this guy came from or what was going on or why. Nothing. We got nothing. So again, I don't know if that's good or bad. I like parts of that on each side of here, but I'll say it now. All right, so that's it for high points. I'll go to low points. Very early double aughts fashion. Not a big fan. I mean, the quality of this film is like, I guess you could kind of put it at TV movie.
Yeah.
Right, like made for TV film. It's just probably just what they could afford, I guess. The score music was very generic. I'm guessing they probably just used what was available. The acting is not fantastic.
Nope.
The one scene he supposedly has a glass eye. Every other scene, the eye is completely normal.
Yeah,
like it follows his other eye. Like a glass eye, the whole thing is like it doesn't follow you. Right, as you can see, like the next film, there's a dude with a glass eye, and it does exactly what a glass eye is supposed to do. It just looks forward all the time. Right. But this is like the one scene where he's like, "Oh, I'm fixing my eye." He like moves it around a little bit, and that's it. But every other scene, the eye looks totally normal, which is, I don't know, goofy to me. But not a huge fan of that. So I think there's a motorcycle scene of like where it shows like a guy with like a skull mask driving a motorcycle, and there's like the person on the back, and they like wave to them, and they like wave and scream back. They use that scene 3 times. It's the same scene. They literally use it 3 times, as if they're in 3 different places, like 3 different groups of people waving to them on the road, and they show the skull motorcycle person scene, exact same scene 3 times. I was like, why? why are we reusing that scene? Unless it's like their best friend and they wanted to put them in as many scenes as possible. I don't know. The scene where the buff dude licks his eyeball, I was not a big fan of. I was expecting the knife because that's like the movie poster, but it wasn't a knife. It was his tongue, and that's grosser. But that's all I got. What do you
got? Yeah, you can tell it's an early aughts movie, as you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, as you said, the quality not great. And like I said on the research, like we were going to make it PG-13, and it showed no blood. I'm like, I'm not sure anyone would have rated this PG-13 without the blood.
Yeah, because again, the rating system is arbitrary. it's depending on the views of the people that are watching it and rating it. It's not like a set of criteria that it goes through and they make check marks and then that's what the rating is. No, it's like when people watch it, that's the determination. Now, unfortunately, when normal people, I use that in quotes, normal people watch a gay movie, they're gonna say it's nobody, kids can't watch this, right? So they're gonna automatically mark it higher.
Correct.
Stupid. I agree. They should have a different rating system. It's a different way of working out the rating system instead of this arbitrary people watch it in like a jury panel type shit. It should just be on certain criteria, but whatever.
Yeah,
that's where we're at.
Yeah. It's I feel okay. Either the guy's angel wings on his back was a very fresh tattoo or really bad temporary tattoo. I'm going with really bad temporary tattoo.
Yeah, it looked like somebody drew wings on him with a magic marker.
Correct.
It did not look like a tattoo at all.
Correct. I said very, very fake tattoo. Not sure it did anything to the film, but it was there. So why not? Changing while driving. If like, hey, I got to change the party, someone else drive, sure. I would feel very uncomfortable with someone trying to change while they're driving the vehicle I'm in. And as he's falling down off the fire escape with his handcuffs, and he catches it, like he's getting degloved.
Well, yeah, it would also like break your fucking wrist, like
easily.
All of your body weight hanging on your wrist. Like it would break. Yeah,
break, degloved. You don't have that hand for a while,
right?
As you said, and I just like the whole purpose between the buff guy. Like, oh, he's so strong that he can take this sickle and go through fast enough, hard enough that it's not even like pressuring down. It's like clean cut. Like that's hard for anyone to do, like with a guillotine.
Right. Well, yeah, cutting through wood with a sickle is not easy, and he's doing it pretty well.
Yeah, and it's just like there's zero explanation. Like, is he like a guy who was abused by gay people? Was he just a guy who's gay who hated himself because of society? Don't really know. I would have preferred something a little bit more to it, other than buff, half naked guy with the devil mask. So, that's about all I have. I'll go first for number of chains and handcuffs out of 10. I didn't particularly care for this movie. It's just because of the acting, the way it was shot. It just wasn't a fun thing to watch based on those aspects. Like the premise, sure, I get, but I'm gonna give this probably 4.5 chains and handcuffs out of 10. How would you?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's not good. It's not well made, particularly. It's not very well acted.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like I said, I was kind of fascinated by the whole reverse thing, and they did a good job. Like the characters are, well done. Kind of well thought out. It was, again, there's enough going for it where it's interesting. This is something I want to watch again. No, not at all. But I don't think it's terrible. There's enough interesting things here to go a little higher than that. I'll go 5.25.
5.25. Okay. All right. Well, that brings us to Knife+Heart, which I'm going to try to do the synopsis here because essentially it's the 70s. We're following this main woman who was I guess based off of a real one who shot, gay porn in the 70s, and just kind of the piece that's going through this. And I would say very artsy porn at that.
Well, okay. All you have to do is say we're in France.
Oh, okay. French gay porn.
There you go. Now it's explained. It's explained now.
And so they're trying to figure out, what to do. There's just a whole bunch of, I wouldn't say unnecessary things to it, but essentially, she is working on this film, and a guy who's in this ends up dying. gets murdered by a guy in like I don't know what you want. What would you call his outfit? Edward Scissorhands, but with like a leather late mask.
Yeah, I mean he's just wearing a mask. He's dressed like a normal dude, only with a mask.
Yeah, but who is kind of like almost he's like channeling the squeals of Leatherface.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, you could tell that some like that. Yeah, he's not all well mentally.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's wearing a mask. He's stalking gay porn actors, and he's not well mentally. I think that's all we really need.
Yeah, and he like the first one is like he's seducing a guy, and then he gets a dildo out that has a hidden knife in it and stabs him to death.
Right.
They're like, oh, one of our guys is dead. Well, we really shouldn't do that. Well, then another one happens to get killed. Like, huh. Weird. I guess we'll keep doing that, even though the Golden Mouth is afraid to come to work. Which
not yet. That was after the next murder. The first murder is they kind of blame it as like, oh, the guy was like, he was always with a whole bunch of people, and it looked like he just had an orgy with the wrong people. So that everybody kind of dismissed that one. The second guy was like a huge drug addict, like literally heroin addict, and he had a lot of like drug debts and shit. Like he was always asking for money and stuff. Mm-hmm. So when he got killed, easily explained away, oh yeah, it was drug debt stuff. So the first two kills, it's very suspicious that like two gay actors from your films died. Like that's but it's connected. But at that point, there's only two. It's like, hey, these guys had their own shit going on. It's not us. Like, let's just keep moving with this. So they find replacement people and they continue to film.
Yeah. And they even happen to get the people that are not gay to be in their film, which is heck of a deal.
Well,
to be able to do.
A lot of times, they do that a lot of times because it's money, man.
Yeah.
If you can do it, it's good money. And that's, not all the people that do gay porn are gay.
Correct.
I'm assuming the other way around too. I don't know that much about porn stars to tell you one way or the other, but I'm sure it goes both ways.
Yeah, and would you call her director? She's probably director.
Yeah, she's a director.
She kind of has this little love thing with the editor, I guess, and
they were like together for 10 years.
Yeah,
in a very toxic relationship, and they recently like cut it off to where they're no longer together and they're only supposed to only see each other at work. But the director lady is not taking it well and keeps like drunk dialing her and like trying to like love bomb her and get back together. You can tell that it's a very toxic and abusive relationship, but she's trying to like put it back together. And the other one, the editor, is trying to move on with her life.
Yeah, I'd say, and the director, she's always on some substance of something.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. So as I said, they're going out this and like, hey, we should just, instead of being, anal fury, we're going to name it homicidal.
Right.
And then they kind of start piecing it off of like true crime events that happened and recreating it in a way.
Well, yeah, because she starts filming scenes that are copies of the scenes that she's dealing with in real life. So like the scene where she gets interviewed by the police about two of her actors dying.
Yeah.
She uses that scene in the movie. Obviously it's a porn parody version of that. But she uses that as inspiration, and she like makes her own film out of like using the creative level of the people dying to make her own story out of it.
Yeah. But eventually, she goes up to like a graveyard and hears the story of her son that died, and starts incorporating like the gay couple was in the barn. The father was not very happy, burns them, and starts incorporating that into her film as well.
Well, that we don't find out until the end.
Yeah, I'm getting there. There's a lot of fluff in this.
Well, I mean, we could just fast forward it. So anyway, a bunch of actors that she has worked with in the past end up dead. The first two, obviously, where she tried to sort of explain away. The third one is kind of like, okay, like bad shit's going down. Nobody will work with her anymore. So she tries to like help investigate. So that's when she goes and find, because they found a feather near the body. So she goes to find out what kind of feather it is. And then she goes to where the only place in the country where this one type of bird is supposed to be from, even though it's supposed to be extinct. So she goes there, and then she finds, the mom that's mourning her dead son. And then, she comes back like kind of newly inspired. She finishes that movie. They screen it. And everybody loves it. It's like, whatever. I guess everybody that's connoisseur of gay porn in the late 70s thought it was great. So then she's like sitting in the theater, like watching it over and over again because she thinks it's like her masterpiece. And then because her film is doing so well, they start showing older films of hers. And so it shows the film, one of her older movies on the screen, and when that happens, it all clicks for her, and she finds out, and that's basically, we find out what the whole story is that like I said, there was two young guys who were gay and in love, and they were like apparently boning in the barn. The dad found them, like went insane and tried and murdered the one kid and tried to murder his own son, and then burned down the barn to hide the crime.
Yeah.
Somehow his son survived, but was in a coma. And when he finally came out of the coma, he had no memory of what happened. So he's like a burn victim, he's like all covered in scars and everything. And he's like, not all there mentally. And he was trying to live a normal life. And when he went, I guess he's still gay, right? He had no memory, but he's still gay. So he went to go watch gay porn in the theater, and he watched one of her older films that was a scene where two guys were getting it on in a barn. And then the dad comes into the barn and goes, "Oh, what are you guys doing?" And then burns down the barn. But like, of course, the scene in the movie plays out differently, where they just all bone each other and then run around the burning barn like all happy. But like, it triggers his memory to come back. And so now he has to remember all that horrible shit that happened to him, about the love that he had with the guy, and then his dad, burning down the barn and almost killing him. And so as revenge, he decides to kill all the actors that were in the film, or all the people involved in that film.
Well, recreating the stuff that happened to him, I guess. Right.
So he kills all the actors that were in that movie, and he kills the editor, and he tries to kill the director, and fails.
Yeah.
But that's basically what was happening.
Yeah. That, and yeah, Fiend. It's an interesting.
There's a lot more artsy scenes, like kind of sprinkled in there, and a lot of like character development, a lot of like goofy parody scenes of like the porn that they were shooting at that time. But again, all of that's kind of outside of the storyline. That I think is good enough of a synopsis. If you want to know more, you can you can watch it. It's like a 2-hour long movie.
It's long.
Yeah.
It's definitely long, but I know I had never heard of this.
I had never heard of it until I was doing research for the episode, just trying to find Pride movies to watch. And it was like one of the, kind of contemporary ones where I was like, oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
So that's what we got. But no, I haven't seen any of these movies.
No. Listen, I heard obviously of, the first one, but.
Yeah, I knew of the first one. I had never seen it, but I knew of the other two. I had no idea until I was researching.
Yeah. So do you want to go first with your highlights?
Sure. So I liked the kind of OG projector and film like editing of like where you actually had to like cut
tape
and tape the film together, which was really interesting. I love watching that kind of stuff. It's one of those dying art forms, I think. I thought the music and the style was pretty cool. They kind of recreated the late 70s in France, which is interesting to me. I really liked Pierre the Mutant Birdman, who has the one scene and then is never mentioned again, and there's no reason for him to be a weird mutant bird person, but he's there anyway. And I thought that was fantastic. And I liked the whole idea of, why the killer is doing what he's doing, right? The whole, he had amnesia, and then this film triggered his memories, and now he doesn't know what to do with those memories, so he has to go kill people to try to feel better about himself. I thought that was pretty interesting, but that's all I got.
Yeah, like I said, it's the idea of taking real events and murders and incorporating it into your film it's interesting, right? Is it in bad taste? It depends.
I mean, okay, we're in France, we're making gay pornography. Yeah, where's the line of this is disturbing, right? We're already there.
Yeah, but that's if you're gonna make if you're have a mark on porn, you will get noticed for that. For sure.
Well, yeah. Again, if you, all these art people, especially in France, right? Because France is known for having very expression, full of expression with their art, where they go that extra step beyond to try to make a point and set themselves up. So yeah, that time period with these types of films, yes, trying to set yourself apart with something weird and interesting and give you a weird newspaper highlight somewhere. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. They say no publicity is bad publicity, right?
Yeah, and my goodness, it felt like the 70s.
Oh yeah,
so those were my highlights. I'll go my low points. Man, I underwear in your mouth. That's not a kink I could ever get behind.
Man, don't kink shame, but that's not my thing either. But hey, whatever does it for you, have fun. As long as you're not doing it to people that don't want it to be done to them, I don't care. Have fun.
Yeah. The knife in the dildo was a little corny. I think.
I got the dildo knife on mine too. Don't worry.
And this movie it's French, so it's artsy, and it's about artsy porn, which is even more artsy. It's too artsy for me.
Well, I think I knew once when I started watching this movie, I was like, oh, he's gonna hate this movie. I was like, he's gonna fucking hate this movie. I knew you wouldn't like it. That's okay.
But it's not because of the subject. It's because of the style.
I know. It's the artistic style. I love that kind of shit, but I know you're not a big fan. So when I was watching it, I was like, yeah, he's not going to be happy. he's going to be mad at me to watch. Yeah. That's okay, because you make me watch shit movies, too.
I know. That's fair. Like I said, and that just... They're adding way too much story for porn. I'm sorry.
This is the 70s. They still tried to have, plots and stuff.
I guess, but that was whole worshiping devil and being whipped and bloody and hearts being torn up. It seemed they're going Kalima.
I mean, that's how porn was back then, dude. They felt like they still had to have kind of a storyline. The original Deep Throat has a storyline, a pointless one, but it's there.
But this movie is going to take 6 months to make.
Yeah,
that's way too long for porn. So it's almost like she wanted to direct regular movies, and this is all
the
she
production
could get.
value was not that high. I guarantee they had that shit done in a week or two.
It just seemed like it was going to take forever the way they're going, but that's what I have. How about you?
Yeah, dildo knife. I was I was trying to figure out, how the hell would that work? How would you get a blade to pop
Switch
out
blades?
and then pop back into a dildo? I'm I don't quite get that. It's floppy. Anyway, that cop with that weird skull eye, dude. That guy was freaking me out. He first in there, I was like, is that is this fucking eye fucked up, or is it just the angle? Like, I couldn't figure it out. And then, like, the scene where he's in later, and it's like very obvious in the second scene. The first season, it's like, you know, weird. The way they shot it, like, you couldn't quite tell it was like a fake eye. But like the second scene, like, it's totally obvious because he's like looking down and looking around, and that eye is just dead straight forward. And it's, yeah, not a fan. The killer's like weird squealy noises was no thanks. It was like, it reminded me of like Maniac.
Yeah,
he's making like those weird noises like that. I'm like, oh Jesus, stop that. And I thought it was pretty convoluted how she like found out about the killer and then managed to somehow put it together herself, which doesn't make any sense to me. It was like she goes to like this mutant guy that tells her exactly what kind of feather it is, even though it's from a bird that's been extinct for like 200 years. Like, okay, like how did this crazy mutant guy know this? And then she goes to the forest to go look for, this bird was from this forest, I'm going to go there. She goes there and manages to meet the killer's mom within like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And then like gets the whole story of like who this person is and what they're doing and what happened like right away. And then goes back and then is somehow able to put it together by herself. I'm like, there's no fucking way. There's no way. There's too much information and you don't have enough to go on to be able to put this story together. Like if they would have done it to where like she didn't figure it out until like after the guy came at her or something, you know what I mean? Or had more information, but no, she figured it out like before.
Right.
And then she went to go save the person like as it was happening. I was like, there's no fucking way you figured that out.
Yeah.
But that's all I got.
All right. So, how many chains and handcuffs out of 10 do you give it?
Again, there's interesting things going on here. I think it's well done. I think the style is fun. I think there's a lot of extra stuff happening that I thought was good. Some of it was pointless. Some of it dragged, but a lot of it was interesting. You know, it kept you involved with the characters. They were interesting enough. Is it a movie I want to watch again? No, but it's up there. I'm gonna go 6.75.
Yeah, you know how I feel with that artsy stuff. So
I know.
Was it better than Hellbent? Yes. Was it the best one of the three? I don't think so. So I will give it 5 chains and handcuffs out of 10. It's just interesting. It's interesting to watch. It almost felt like it would have fit in with like our French stuff we did last year.
Yeah, it's not quite French extremity level,
right?
But yeah, I mean it's the same vein. It's French, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anything else to add?
Nothing I got.
All right, because we are ahead of schedule. We're probably going to take a week off next week, and then come back for our Juneteenth celebration with Blackenstein, Dr. Black and Mr. White, and Scream, Blackula, Scream. And we'll have to do a catch-up episode when they eventually remake Blackula, right?
Well, people say Scream, Blackula, Scream might be like the worst sequel ever made. People literally say that, so it'll be fun. I guarantee it'll probably be a low score from both of us, but that's what they say. But it'll be an interesting watch for sure.
Yeah. So remember, we watch bad movies, so you don't have to. And this has been Graveyard saying, "Have you checked on the children?"
This is Salem saying, "Long live the new flesh."